What's going on? Got this book right here. This Weird Michigan, Linda S. Godfrey. Your travel guide to Michigan's local legends and best kept secrets. I got something that is pretty good here. Ancient mysteries. Look, uh, there's mounds everywhere around here. But anyway, mermaids, mermen. Ooh, look at that. But no, that ain't. Where's this thing at? Just seen this a minute ago. Right here. This is what it is. Look, that cursed red dwarf, nain rouge. Detroit's Lions fans might be forgiven if they think they've seen some of the worst disasters known to man. Superstitious ones might blame outside forces, the occult. Truth be told, players have only themselves to blame, or management. Dark specters haunt the imaginations of Lions players and fans alike. Many have been jolted screaming from sleep by dreams of a shambling, red-faced creature with cold, glittering eyes and teeth protruding from a grinning mouth. Seasoned veterans will sit back and say, yes, we've seen that nightmare before. Green Bay Packers fans. Close, but in this case, they're wrong. This particular nightmare has a more ancient pedigree going back to the very founding of Detroit over 300 years ago. The little beast in question stands a mere 2.5 feet tall and weighs several hundred pounds, less than your average bratwurst stuffed Wisconsinite. And unlike its green and gold-clad demonic brethren, this one is red and devilishly red. It's Detroit's very own nain rouge, the red dwarf. Nain rouge is frequently described as having a blazing red eyes with rotten teeth. And I would like to take note here that the blazing red eyes is similar to a Mothman, but this is like a demonic imp type thing anyway. Brilliant, restless. Wait, all right, hold on. Blazing red eyes with rotten teeth, or looking like a baboon with a horned head. Brilliant, restless eyes and devilish leer on its face. He appears just before disaster strikes, also just like the Mothman. Consider Antoine de la Mothe Cadillac, founder of Detroit in 1701. He was warned by a gorgeous fortune-telling gypsy to appease the nain rouge, lest he lose his riches and vast holdings. Cadillac ignored the warning and continued to live the high life until 6 years later, when following a May Day celebration. And May Day, freaking he and his wife were strolling home, and the red dwarf crossed their path. You're celebrating May Day, and then look, then this thing. It's the nain rouge, whispered Cadillac's wife. Not one for appeasement of any kind, the strutting Cadillac shouted, "Get out of my way, you red imp!" and swung his cane, striking the aberrant creature. It vanished amid echoing, mocking laughter. "Misfortune will soon be our portion," wailed Cadillac's wife. And true to prophecy, cue disaster. Cadillac was arrested shortly afterwards in Montreal for questionable trading activities. He was later removed to Louisiana, where his life continued its downward spiral. Eventually, he returned to France, where he died mostly forgotten and his fortune gone. As for the city of Detroit, it may have been all downhill from there. In 1805, the dancing beast was seen just before a massive fire broke out. The city's 200 buildings were quickly engulfed into flame and consumed. Only a small stone structure survived the conflagration. Look, nothing new under the sun. Things burn down. Often in history. Anyway, in 1884, a lonely woman was attacked by a leering red baboon-headed dwarf. Several citizens reported an infernal imp brazenly strolling the streets during the infamous 5 days of rioting and left 43 people, 43 people dead in July of 1967. Two Detroit Edison workers feared for the life of a small child they saw scampering up on a utility pole19, March 19th, 1976. As they went to rescue it, the child took a 20-foot leap to the ground and scurried away. The very next day, Detroit was hit by a crippling snow and ice storm, was one of the worst in the city's history. Lightning that day set off the bell in the city hall. Its ringing peal reminded some of the red dwarf's sardonic cackle. As for the Detroit Lions, the less said the better. Flattery, the gypsy prophesied, is the only thing to appease the nain rouge, and anything less offends it. Players and fans alike may well heed this advice should some shambling red-faced creature with cold glittering eyes and teeth protruding from a grinning mouth cross their paths. Should the Lions somehow reach the playoffs, instead of turning to the soothsaying sports analysts for predictions, look out the window to the streets. There's a rude red imp dancing in the snow. And I find this kind of funny, man, because Detroit is kind of a destructive place, because on Devil's Night, it's been here in Michigan, the day before Halloween. It's always been known it's a night to go and pull pranks and vandalize stuff, and I mean, even it gets even crazier than that. Like, they burn down bando houses. This was even kind of portrayed in that movie, in movies you see it a lot. But yeah, it's legit. Like, the cops are out in droves the night before, like, and if you get caught being out on Devil's Night, you'll get harassed by the police if you get caught doing anything wrong. But it's like, yeah, it's like, because maybe, because people do stuff like that, maybe this creature is, maybe they're possessed by this creature here. Odd, but yeah. There's the book one more time. Weird Michigan. Linda S. Godfrey.